I'm about to go vault. I'm about to go vault.
Oh, I'm gonna go crazy, man. Oh my god, I shouldn't be streaming. Why am I streaming? Uh, oh my god. Put this shit on auto, bro. No, now they're gonna spam ults. Oh my god. Just get me out of here, man. Get me out of here, please. I'm so sick of it, man. I just want to forget this account exists and go back to my main account already. Ay, Dios mío. Me duele la cabeza. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, yes. The Eon of Remembrance. This one. I wish you could auto this, man. I really wish you could. Oh, fuck me. Risk management is important. Always remember, guys, that this is a gacha game. Risk management is always important. Oh my fucking god. Speedrun leveling up these shitty ass blessings. What's the equation? The equation's fine. All good in the hood. Summon. Bro, can it stop falling? Thank you. Yo, Gabby, how you doing? I'm doing good, buff. How about... actually, no, I'm not doing good. I'm absolutely burnt out today. But other than that, how are you doing, man? Honestly, I shouldn't be streaming at all. But, like, I just said fuck it, man. I honestly just said fuck. I didn't have the energy to actually, like, create a video where I just yap for, like, 10 minutes straight. I didn't have the energy for it. This is pretty ass. I should have gone with the other one, but whatever. I'm like, my brain is running on autopilot currently. Because my friends were holding me hostage in fucking Fortnite. I was supposed to only play that game for an hour. We played it for like 5 or 6. I cannot play competitive games for that long of a time period without like having my brain just completely drained. uh, Bryn, great. Other than like, I am forced to pull Tribby. Why are you forced to pull Tribby? It depends who you go for, Haru. Yeah, Arvin, basically. I wanted to get at least something off because I was 100% not doing a video. Like, if I was going to do a video, it would have been a Rob update. But, like, I haven't even done all that much on Rob in, like, the last few weeks. Because Rob is still not at Trailblaze 60. Like, he cannot do any significant progress until I finally get A6 Trace on Gallagher and A6 Traces on, like, Robin and the rest of my teammates. And Rob has a rough time ahead of him. Because I really just don't know who I'm going to pull. It's going to be all up to the Casterus leagues, probably. This is your main or second account? This is my second account. I'd be much happier if I was on my main account right now that has an E2 Herda, but... Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Just give me whatever gives me more jades. Whatever gives me more jades, I will take gladly. Ooh, what a blessing pull. Wow. Finally did my first MOC 12 in 9 cycles. Nice. Yeah, mine took 5 for Fei Xiao and I think 2 for my Herda. 1 or 2 for my Herda. What in the ass is this? Oh, wait, I should have gone with the equation. Oh, whatever. Yeah, this was a shitty domain. Oh. Huge damage. You're pulling for Tribute E1? I don't know. I don't know. If Casterus or My Day best teams is hyper carry, I'm not pulling Tribby on this account. That way I have more time to save for like Sunday rerun or main DPS, like maybe Eidolons or a Lycone. I am not interested in getting E1 Tribby, then the DPS, then missing out on Sunday, who will probably be best in slot with like Phanon or someone. Like, it's just not worth it in my opinion. Mine was 6 for Fei Xiao and 3 for Herda. Nice. I did see, I got recommended a video from Tectone. Apparently, Mr. Pokey took like 2 hours on a viewer's account trying to clear MOC for him, and he couldn't. Which I actually found quite funny. Because I don't think I've ever seen him, like, not clear before on someone else's account. Hello, Stellar. Oh, nice. E1 is overkill in my opinion because you can clear the latest MOC with the latest E0 unit. I agree. But E1, especially for Tribbies, more so future value because of how broken it is in even just like blast scenarios. Like it doesn't even have to be full AoE, but like any blast DPS, they also benefit a lot from E1 Tribby. And in the worst case scenario, E1 Tribby is like basically equivalent to Robin. It's always about future value, honestly. This is not what I wanted. Give me a follow-up one. Thank you. What was your comp for the MOC? I can't clear it. Fei Xiao, March 7th, E0, S0, Robin, and Aventurine. And then my second side with Herda, I mean, I have an E2 S1 Herda, okay? It's like, there's no point in me telling you the Herda comp, but it's just Herda, Remembrance MC, Small Herda, and Lingsha. I mean, I would have been able to keep clear with an E0 S1 Herda anyways, but like, it's still like... E0 now and E1 on a rerun? Yeah, that's fine. But the thing is, sometimes, like, it's hard to predict whether or not you'll be able to pull for a Harmony's Eidolons or Lycone on a rerun. Because usually there's obviously newer characters that you become more interested in than like an old character you already own Eidolons. You know what I'm saying? Like that is usually the case most of the time for most people. So the bug should be like 6 cycles, yeah. I used my Fei Xiao on the bug. I'm pretty sure the bug isn't even wind weak, so it was kind of like counterproductive. But I just use Fei Xiao anyways. Into S1 Herda just clears everything? Yeah, exactly. I don't feel comfortable, like, flexing clears in endgame when, like, very clearly I have an unrelatable DPS. Do you think E2 Herda? No, she doesn't need Tribby. Okay, so here's the thing. The stronger your Herda is, the better E1 Tribby is. Like, straight up. Okay? The more damage your DPS does, the more they benefit from E1 Tribby's extra true damage bonus. Like, that's literally how it works, right? So it doesn't matter how many Eidolons or Lycones you put into your Herda. She's still, and if anything, she's going to want Tribby even more the more you invest into your Herda, right? E1 Tribby. Because it makes her damage increase even, like, that much higher. What the fuck does this thing do? It's so ass. Who's your unrelatable DPS? E2S1 Herda. I actually should have healed Himiko right there. Hopefully I don't die. Why is everyone on YouTube saying the MOC sucks ass? Because it does. You see, the last MOC sucked ass, but a lot of people didn't complain about the last MOC because trotters were making old DPSs look as if they were still perfectly fine. However, the second you remove the trotters and you put a turbulence that only actually affects Herda and Aglaya, it's like, oh shit, my old units fucking suck. It's like, yeah, that's what happens when the endgame stops shilling. Like there was a lot of people coping last MOC like, oh, my dot team is still clearing in 4 to 5 cycles. It's like, yeah, but there's fucking trotters right there, man. Like, there's trotters right there. 20% energy feels pretty universal. No, it doesn't change that it's ass. Like, 20% energy every cycle? Like, bro, that's a Ho-Ho ult. That's a Sunday ult. Like, 20% energy barely means shit in this economy, bro. Compared to trotters that literally do half the damage for you, it's completely different. I'll just grab this for the thingy. Yeah, like trotters made it so much, like it looked so much easier with the trotters. Wow, this is ass. Facial and Acheron benefit 0 from this MOC's buff? Yeah. The only reason Acheron is still like semi-usable in this MOC is because the bugs from True Sting, when you kill them, give you a stack. And Nikador is lightning weak, so her AoE against like those spear thingies is just free damage. It's still not optimal, but she's still very usable at least. Like I had someone in my comments when I made my video about vertical investment is trash, saying that like their E0S1 Acron could not clear at all. But like my argument for horizontal investment is assuming that you at least still grab one teammate for your DPS. Like he didn't have Zhao Cho, and I think he also didn't have Silverwolf because I went onto my own account. Yes, I have an E1, okay? I have an E1 Acheron. I get 18% free crit rate. However, my body on my Acheron has 0 crit rolls, and I have 2 pieces that have no double crit on them. So my E1 is made up for by my shitty ass Acheron relics. I got like a 5 cycle with Silverwolf. No Zhao Q. Like, I truly don't think horizontal investment is as bad as people make it out to be because Acheron's almost a year old. If you have Zhao Q, you're like 2 to 3 cycling in all, like, honesty, right? Oh, wow. I didn't even know this was a thing. I just got every single erudition blessing. I mean, I guess, like, I'll take it. I've literally never had that happen before. Alright. Ruan May event, very lucky, really? What is this for? Oh, a useless equation, of course. Who could have guessed? Based on how people seem to gear their characters, they might be better off going vertical for rainbow is more common than I thought. I mean, yeah. I've always said this, and people have always called me a coper for saying that the average player has shitty ass relic investment. But people are always like, no, no, because my subjective experience, farm relic domains every day, and all my characters have perfectly built sets. That is not the majority of the player base. Okay, I'm gonna say it how it is. The majority of the player base has pretty shit relic investment, to say it lightly, right? Most people don't like farming relics. Some people skip days between playing the game because they don't play the game every day. Like the majority of the player base just doesn't have that type of thing. Some players are very unlucky at times. I mean, you can say that with relics, but like there's a point where it's like you're not that like you may be unlucky, right? Like for example, I dumped like over 20,000 relic remains into a sphere with ice damage boost for my Herda with double crit, and I spent thousands of Trailblaze power on the actual like planar domain, and I never got a single ice damage boost with double crit, and I just had to suck it up and use a self modeling resin and 4 wishful resin to craft a double crit with ice damage boost. Like I've gotten this unlucky. Like I know what it feels like to get unlucky in relic domains, but like most of my characters still have very very usable relic sets, even if I only farmed them for like 1 or 2 weeks. Um, I can just spam this, I guess. I mean, I just can't use this, man. Can I get something better? Oh my god. Like, what is this luck? Oh, I can't even do it anymore. I should have used that on one of the erudition ones. Whoopsie. I've been farming Herda relics for 3 months. Still no decent Izumo orb. Yeah, that's like easily the hardest part. It's basically the equivalent of trying to get like a top tier goblet, like a specific goblet in Genshin. It's like, it's so fucking difficult getting it. Is there anything I can buy from you to like make my blessings better or my equations better? Not really. Not really, no. So I just have like 2,600, 2,800 cosmic fragments for fun. Okay. Hello, ASAP. I don't think most people even bother on getting the correct main stat on their sets, to be honest. I wouldn't go that far. I mean, I could see like someone with a hunt character doesn't realize the importance of a crit rate body, so they go with a crit damage one. But it usually isn't something massive like you're running an HP percent on your fucking Acheron or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be pretty diabolical. Pokey defense percent instead of HP percent boots on your Ruan Mei. Your Ruan Mei is bricked. Yeah, like that's picky right there. Like that's literally just being picky, bro. Like it usually almost never matters whether you use defense percent or HP. How many levels do I get out of that? 3? Is that it? Is that all I get? 3 levels for that entire thing? I couldn't even hit 25 for the Jades. Oh, I did hit 25. Nice. Do you have insight mode on? Yes, because I'm just trying to speed run it basically. Robbie still has 76 levels to go. Yeah, I think so I have 6 days and 5 days by tomorrow. I think I'll do like 15 levels every single day, which is 5 Divergent Universe runs, with each one being like 20 minutes to half an hour. never mind. I don't want to do that. I'm gonna do less than that. 100%. I'm gonna do less than that. Hire an account manager? Nah, bro. Like, nah, no. I do not want to hire an account manager, man. Pokey is like, Pokey is understandable because he plays like multiple games at the same time, I think, and he just wants to save time. But not only do I not trust anyone with this account after how lucky I got with Robin, but I like to keep that relatability factor a little there, you know? I already did get an E2S1 Herda. I should at least have the relatability of suffering through the story of this game and suffering through grinding on a new account. Some fan would grind it for free, yeah, but I wouldn't agree with that. I don't like people doing things for me for free. It doesn't feel right to me unless I'm paying them. There's no way I would let someone do something for free for me. I either do it myself or I pay them. Do you grind feel so painful? Yeah, it's like so bad. With the double synchronicity points, it isn't anywhere near as bad. But the second you use those up, it's like, oh, the progress feels like an absolute fucking... I don't even know what to say it, man. I need to use some of my energy anyways. I'm just gonna farm more Robin, probably. Or, actually, Serval. Serval, I need to level up my Serval, yeah. I need to level up my Serval. What about Tingyan? Ooh, Tingyan's Traces. This is the only good Ascension Trace I see here. Oh, wait, no, this one's also really good. Never mind.
This vast universe has so many worlds I've yet to explore.
The only thing I want to give Tingyan is attack. Is weekly reset? Oh. I think I have been skipping out on my weeklies. How old is this account? I don't even know, bro. I don't keep track. I think less than a month, maybe. Let me see. I uploaded a video on my YouTube channel, so I should be able to find it pretty quickly. Say hello to Rob 3 weeks ago. So, yeah, I think he's almost 4 weeks old. Almost a month old. Mr. Pokey's account is like 3 or 4 weeks older than mine.
Dangerous spots, harmony and unity. I don't have time. Open sesame. Watch it close.
How many pulls does Rob have? Over 100. I know that for sure. He has over 100 at the minimum. He probably has like over 110 actually because of all the Divergent Universe farming I just did. I also did some Divergent Universe off stream. So, yeah. He has a decent amount. He's also 40 pity into the Lycombe banner pulling for DDD. Rob has gotten 4 DDDs in a row for every single 10 pull, which is absolutely insane luck. So I have 1 DDD at S3 and 1 at S1 in case maybe I get Trivy. And character banner pity I think is like 0. I could be wrong, but I think it is 0. Yeah, E1S1 Robin on Rob as well, by the way, so... You get a lot of pulls as a free-to-play. I really do have to stress this. When you're like a new account... Sorry, not as a free-to-play, but as a new account. When you're a new account, pulls just come in flying, bro. Like, they just come in and, like, there's a shit ton. I still have 70 levels of Divergent Universe to go. multiple worlds of simulated universe. I haven't done Golden Gears. I haven't done all of the like unknowable domain shit. I have a lot of shit still missing. Yeah, there's a lot of content to run through when you have a new account. Like, if I didn't go for E1S1 Robin, if you really think about it, E1S1 Robin is the equivalent to 3 cost. Which means I could have pulled Herda, Jade, and Ling Sha for the exact same cost as my E1S1 Robin. And I still could be able to get an E1 Tribby quite easily, and even like E0S1 Castris or Sunday. Like, it's just so good when you're a new player. You also don't feel any of the power creep when you're a new player either. Because, like, there aren't any old units on your account to be power crept. I mean, it has attack percent. I could use it as, like, a Robin piece, but I prefer a Robin piece have attack and speed. Ting Yun, Ting Yun, Ting Yun. You don't need much speed for Robin, though? Well, yeah, you don't need much. You only need her at 120, but me personally, I'd like to get her to that next threshold, considering I have her at E1S1. I want to maximize her value, which I think is like 134 or something. Could be wrong. I also need to farm Von Whack when I hit Trailblaze 60. I'll probably use a Wishful plus a self-modeling resin for an ER rope with speed on it. What is the account going to pull for? I don't know. I think if Castris is underwhelming, I really might pull My Day. Like, a lot of people think I hate My Day, but, like, I genuinely love his design. If Castris is somehow, in some way, underwhelming, yeah, I might go for My Day plus Sunday. And then after My Day and Sunday, I'd probably pick up Phanon. Because I don't want to say anything, right? But there has been like a full art leak for one of Phanon's forms. And the man looks like the most badass character in the entire game. I don't know if it's going to be like a form for a boss fight. Her second form that supposedly is playable. I don't fucking know, right? But he looks absolutely sick. Looks so good, they had to grieve him with the auto battle. Okay, I have a hot take, right? And this isn't necessarily a hot take to, like, change other people's views, but more so, like, my own subjective opinion. I actually like when a character is, like, kind of auto-y, right? Like, I actually like that. I'm not gonna lie. It's more of, like, a personal preference thing. But if a character plays similarly in auto to how they would if you didn't play them in auto, it feels a lot safer to play this game on auto. And I, like, the number one thing I appreciate is convenience. So if my day can perform in auto battle, then fuck. Hey, I'm all the happier. I'm not gonna lie.
It's okay. It's okay.
Now, I do think, in fairness, he should have not had auto battle, right? For the people who actually want, like, to tune him to the absolute max to play him correctly, maybe squeeze out an extra cycle, right? But for me, it's not that bad of a thing.
Bring us victory.
It's gonna brick his ass in the future. Well, that's why you pull the E1, of course.
Curiosity,
That's why you just pull the E1, guys.
nothing but a thought.
His E1 allows you to do the same amount of damage to all targets on field with Godslayer, guys. Just pull the E1. It's such a simple solution. Oh my god. I can't even take myself seriously when I say that. I don't have a Bob account. This is Rob. Bob is Mr. Pokey. By the way, I was already planning to make a second account and call him Bob anyways. There's this blue slime in Fortnite that released this season like 2 or 3 months ago. And the name that caught on for him was Bob. And so I was going to name my new account Bob, but I saw Mr. Pokey took it. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Like, what is this timing? So I just changed it to Rob. Do you believe Castrus's E1 is going to be the game changer or the E2? I mean, probably the E2. The E1 has more stackable damage for the dragon. However, the E2 action advances her and the dragon when she uses ult. And both her and the dragon receive a 100% damage increase. Which sounds a lot more broken than just the dragon getting some stackable damage with no action advance. Plus, it's not even a guarantee that you can get that full 300% on Pollux. Like the stack. We'll have to see in a few days. I should have a lot of branches, right? Yeah, I have a shit ton. Nice. E1 caster sounds like Sunday Synergy, though. Maybe. Which DPS do you think gains the most from their E1/E2? I was thinking Firefly. You're probably not wrong. If we're talking about like the strongest E2, it's not Firefly. But if we're talking about how much the character gains, yeah, it's probably Firefly. Her E1 gives her skill point positivity and defense shred, and then her E2 gets rid of the issue that she has, which is Boot Hill has an action advancer on his team, and Rappa, her ult, doesn't action advance her, but instead gives her just a straight up extra turn. So, Firefly was the only one who had like action advance issues, which the E2 fixes. I can make 4. Okay. Am I wasting... Okay, guys. Be honest with me. Am I just wasting my trace materials on Tingyun? Because I'm going to be honest. If I end up pulling Tribby, Ting Yun is not gonna be on any of my teams, right? Like I still don't know if I'm gonna pull Tribby, but like Ting Yun is just, this isn't 2.0. You know what I'm saying? This isn't like 1.5, 1.6, 2.0. Like Ting Yun is not some goat harmony because Ruan Mei was the only limited harmony in the game at the time. Like she's kind of fallen off. I'm not gonna hold you. The only places where she's like an alternative is like Yun Li and maybe Aglaya if you don't have a limited. I mean, I don't know, Celestial. It's hard to ever say if you can get an E1S1 of someone because it completely depends on your luck. You know what I'm saying? Like my main account, I think it took me like 200 pulls only to get an E2S1 Herda. Rob got an E1S1 Robin in like 150 pulls. But like if you get really unlucky, you go to 80 pity, you lose. You go to 80 pity, you get the guarantee. You go to 80 pity again, and you lose again. Like that can stack up fast. That can start stacking up fast when you lose those 50-50s. Yeah, I have 108 pulls. Light cone banner. 80 pity. And character banner, I think 0? No. 8 pity on the character banner. Time to brick Casterus as well. Nice. Thanks for bringing me back to reality. Yeah. Like, even though I've been decently lucky lately with Rob and my main account with Herda, I am always like thinking of the worst case scenario. You know what I'm saying? Like, supposedly we're supposed to get 107 free-to-play polls in 3.1 patch. This includes Divergent Universe, by the way. So you have to fully clear Divergent Universe for it to be accounted towards these 107 free-to-play polls. In reality, if it weren't for the new Divergent Universe, we would be getting significantly less polls this patch than any patch prior by a decent margin, right? But yeah, like you can get really unlucky at times in this game. While there's other people out there, right? I've seen on Twitter there was some guy who got like 4 or 5 characters in a row under double digit pity. Like that's not gonna happen for most of us. I feel like the only people who will pull for Tribby are people playing meta. I don't agree. I don't agree, actually. Because Trivy is genuinely one of the most fun characters in the entirety of the game. Her funness factor has gone down because of the nerf to her follow-up frequency. But, like, in terms of design, animations, and just how they play, like, she is easily the most fun harmony in the entirety of the game by a mile. Like, it's not even close. Like, if you look at Robin, a lot of people don't like Robin because all she does is fucking sing. Like, you could have Nikador's awesome-ass battle theme playing in the background, and then the second you press the Robin ult, all you hear is, "Welcome to my world." Like, nobody wants to hear that bullshit, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I truly think Tribby is like actually one of the most fun characters we've gotten in a while. I don't know, ASAP. Nobody knows. You should be able to turn off Robin singing. I've been saying this for like so long. Like at some point, like this does happen, right? I used to not believe people who said it. However, it actually does happen. You just start to tune out Robin singing. Like it's like filtered in your brain after you've experienced it enough times. However, when it's like your first time getting Robin, it's genuinely like kind of annoying hearing that music. Remembrance looks pretty fun to me. I mean, that's because Remembrance is literally just every path slapped into it. Like, Remembrance is literally just random bullshit go. Of course, the one exception is that every single Remembrance character needs to have a memo sprite. But outside of that, it is pretty much random bullshit go. Is Castris a DPS or support? Uh, Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. Yeah, there's a good chance Castris is an actual DPS. I keep seeing people saying, "Oh, Castris is going to be a sub DPS no matter what." But I'm going to be honest, I think the only reason why leakers have been calling Castris a sub DPS to my day is because her Eidolons and some of her kit supposedly has like supportive capabilities. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Like if you look at Herda has supportive capabilities for erudition units by buffing all of their crit damage by 80%. Is Herda a sub DPS? Hell to the fucking no. Okay, hell to the no. So in all reality, there is genuinely like a really good chance she's just a main DPS with supportive capabilities. Big Herda going to support small Herda? Yep. You run small Herda as the main DPS and big Herda as the support. Tribby or Robin for Aglaya? At E0, it's Robin. Because Aglaya has like a shit ton of attack. So Robin's overall attack buff is genuinely like really good for her. And the action advance is also nice. I'm pretty sure Robin plus Sunday goes crazy for Aglaya. You don't need E1 Tribby. It's just broken. That's all it is. You don't need E1 Tribby, guys. Don't worry. You're not going to clear MOC like 10 cycles slower if you don't have E1 Tribby, but it is a luxury to have. No problem, Ryome. Yeah, I'm also waiting for this week to pass for casters leaks. That's really the only thing that like has me hyped every day. I check the Honkai Star Rail leak Reddit or like Twitter every few times every day to see if there's anything new. There wasn't anything at all today. Like even yesterday there wasn't anything. The only thing there was yesterday was a clearer picture of Phaenon's new form. But that was literally it. Like leaks are pretty dry right now. Do we know what day it'll drop? I don't know the specific day off the top of my head, but like around 6 days if I had to guess, 5 to 6 days. Whenever Aglaya's banner goes away and we get the next Jesus. Whenever we just get the next version, it's like instantly we have in-game leaks, even a little earlier. Like this before 3.0 hit, like a few hours before, we already had Herda and Aglaya leaks on YouTube. So like it's honestly close. It's less than a week. I played Aglaya with only Sunday, no RMC or Robin, and she feels kind of bad. She really needs at least two of them. Yeah. She usually does prefer that, yeah. Aglaya is a high cost, high investment character in my opinion, right? Like if you look at the Herda, you can literally pull Herda by herself, run a full 4-star team, and still perform exceptionally well in the end game. But Aglaya, you have to put more cost in her team to shine. However, when you actually get that investment in, she does shine brighter than Herda. Until you use E2 Herda. Okay, that's a different argument, right? E2 Herda, I'm just gonna say it how it is. Pretty broken. Is it kind of sad how dependent we are in leaks with this game now? Maybe. I'm not sure. What I think is sad is that there's nothing to really distract you from looking at leaks in this game because the content in it is incredibly minuscule. Like, you finish a patch's story quest within a few days in most cases. The recent events, barely anything actually interesting going on. Like, this game's content is probably the worst of any gacha game I've ever played. However, it is also the most convenient, which is why I continue to play it. I think leaks create hype, which is nice, right? Like it's the same thing with like manga, not so much anime. I don't think anime leaks are really a big thing, but like manga leaks are absolutely massive. No, there isn't any leaks about the old character buffs. MOC ruined my soul, yeah. I mean, what are you gonna do about it? That's kind of the issue here. Hoyo just pretends the problem doesn't exist. That's all it is. They don't care, man. Like, if you guys... I recommend any of you guys to go back to my old videos where I talk about power creep and HP inflation before it became an even bigger issue than it already was. And there is genuinely like this vocal minority. I don't think it's the majority, but it's this vocal minority of people who sweat at this game, play it every single day, always use their energy every single day, and they use themselves as the standard of a player for like everyone in the game. Like it's basically the elitist mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like elitist mentality. You never get off the game. You have more experience than 99% of the player base. Better relics than 99% of the player base. They will defend Hoyo to their graves, no matter what shit they pull off or what they do. Did you hear that Chinese players are mad about the HP inflation? Yeah. And that's how you know it's getting serious. Because Chinese players are usually the one crying about EN, crying about anything when it comes to the game. Yet now they're the ones crying about the HP inflation. It's like, even them over there, they're feeling it themselves. It's like, oh, it's not that the end game is more mechanically challenging or I need to think more. It's straight up that, oh, the new endgame is shilling newer units, and my older units don't get the same shilling, so they perform way worse. Montoya, por favor. I saw that shit on my TikTok for a few days, bro. It was genuinely hilarious. AKA the average Pokey fan. It's not even a joke. Like, I genuinely, like, you say that as a joke probably, but, like, I was literally watching this video of Tectone talking about, like, the MOC HP inflation and power creep, and there wasn't a single person in his Twitch chat saying anything against him and, like, his opinions on it. And then the second he went into Pokey's chat and he started reacting to, like, Pokey clips, that is when people started entering his chat trying to argue with him that it's the player's fault. Like, literally the second you attract some people from Pokey's fan base, that is when you actually have to deal with those people defending Hoyo. Keep in mind, almost all of Pokey's showcases when he uses old DPSs are on his main account with an E2S1 Robin. Okay? Almost every single time, it is E2S1 Robin that he is using on, like, old DPSs to decide on whether or not they're still viable in endgame or not. And it's no shade to Mr. Pokey, right? Like, it's not like he can deactivate the Eidolons on his Robin or some shit, or go on someone else's account with, like, absolute shit relics. But it's like, at some point, you have to realize that your opinion is slightly biased when you literally have account managers who nonstop no-life the game for you. So you have the best relic quality literally on the planet, basically. And then on top of that, you also have E2S1 Robin, E0S1 Sunday. You have all the premium supports. Almost every character in the entirety of the game has to offer. I think the only character I think he's missing is Yun Li. That's like the only character he skipped, I think. I'm pretty sure he also spends money to max refresh. I forgot about that. He also max refreshes quite often. So he also gets like double the amount of relics than normal people because he max refreshes. Hoyo needs to implement relic loadout and toggle on/off on Eidolon. Yeah. Relic loadout is... I'm not going to lie, I'm not that picky about relic loadouts. It's 100% a quality of life I would enjoy. But it's like nowhere near important enough on the list of things that they have to do. But Eidolon's 100%. Why is Hoyo making HP inflation so damn much? Not everyone plays endgame. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know. Like, I genuinely, like, the answer to that is, I don't know. Because if you look at Genshin, yeah, they have power creep, but, like, that shit is significantly slower compared to HSR by, like, an entire mile. And Genshin is topping their revenue charts, like, very, very often. So it's very clear that people will still pull new characters, even if their old characters can't still clear endgame. So it's like, I don't know what bullshit they're on with making the HSR power creep, like, this, like, crazily increasing so fast. But I literally do not understand it. Like... Well, yeah, I agree, Eden, but the thing is, like, this is my argument is, like, I don't understand why. Because they don't do this with Genshin, yet Genshin makes double the revenue of HSR. It's, like, very clearly people will still pull for the new character so long as they are well designed enough or loved enough. Like, it doesn't make any difference how well they clear endgame. If anything, they'd be making more money if older characters were still very viable in endgame, because then more people wouldn't be afraid to pull on reruns. Like, they'd literally be making even more money that way. I mean, that doesn't have anything to do with it, though. Like, Genshin being an open world exploration literally has nothing to do when comparing Endgame. Like, it doesn't have anything to do with it. People would invest in Eidolons more? Exactly. Like, if Firefly could still, like, I don't know, like, E2 Firefly is easily one of the most broken E2s in the game. So any Firefly lover would feel a lot more comfortable going for E2 Firefly on her next rerun in the future in 3.x or something than they would if it were like current HP inflation. Like, current HP inflation, nobody really wants to invest Eidolons or Lycone into like an older 2.x DPS when the upcoming 3.x ones are like twice as strong. Right? Like, I literally go over this in my vertical investment is trash video that I uploaded yesterday. An E6 Acheron. An E6 Acheron. E0 Herda is only 20% weaker than an E6 Acheron. Brother, why the fuck would I ever want to pull Eidolons or a Lycone on a DPS after seeing that bullshit? Jing Yuan is literally getting his ass whooped by an E0/0 Aglaya at E6. It's the same thing for Blade. Blade is also getting his ass whooped by an E0/0 and E0S1 my day. Like, I had someone in my comment section that was like, oh, sure, build all those new horizontal investment characters. My E2 Yun Li is going to give my account optimal value. And it's like, no, it fucking isn't, man. I'm pretty sure E2 Yun Li is already weaker than like E0 Aglaya and E0 Herda. What do you mean E2 Yun Li is giving you more value than pulling for a support? What? Like, that doesn't even make any sense. Don't worry, the buffs are coming. I don't even know what they're gonna do for buffs, man. I don't know what they're gonna do. I'm gonna be completely honest. It's going either one of two ways, and there's one that is a significantly more likely option. Either they are going to surpass our expectations and genuinely make these older characters worth pulling on, or they're gonna go even further below our expectations and they're still gonna be complete dog shit. They're just gonna be slightly better. I feel like people should only pull Eidolons on supports. LOL, they always hold the most value. Yeah, that's literally what I'm like doing right now on Rob. Like, on Rob, I don't really have an issue going for E1 S1 Robin because the S1 with no okay, I do have a Bronya Lycone, okay, but in my defense, I did get the Lycone within a single 10 pull when I was trying to get DDD. Okay? Otherwise, I would have just used the Bronya Lycone. However, I got E1 S1 Robin because E1 gives her an extra 24% res pen, which is like an overall 30% team damage increase. So if there's a future Remembrance DPS that could maybe use a combo of like Tribi plus Robin or another Remembrance support with Robin, then like I'm in the clear. Like E1 Robin is carrying me quite far, right? I thought Eidolons can save Sparkle, but well, not enough. Yeah, and this is the dangerous thing, right? This is the dangerous thing that a lot of people don't think about. Currently, Herta has the best E2 in the entirety of the game, right? Like 100% she does, and people become very blinded to the power an Eidolon holds at that time, because genuinely, Sparkle and 2.0, which is when she released, her Eidolons aren't all that bad, right? She was the second limited harmony to ever drop in the game, so we didn't really have anything to go off of, and we never thought that, like, oh, an E6 Sparkle would be power crept soon. And it would never cross your mind. It would never cross your mind that a limited harmony would be able to be power crept at E6 until 2.7 hits, Sunday drops, and an E0 S1 Sunday is better for a Dill team than an E6 S1 Sparkle. That's when you know you cannot trust Eidolons in this game, right? And I think Tribby's E1 is a beautiful example of this. A lot of people thought, right, E1 Robin, that is the pinnacle of Eidolons. I can't see it getting much better. And then you get BAM! E1 Tribby. E1 Tribby is easily the most broken E1 in the entirety of the game. Okay, it's not even a debate. Yeah, 50% AA and buff only Quantum. Like, Sunday has a 20% crit rate passive, man. That's like a... Like, do you understand how crazy 20% crit rate is? That is a free 40% crit value, and his ult gives you 20% energy for free. Like, it doesn't get much better than that. You're forgetting E6 Blade? What about E6 Blade? I already said E6 Blade is worse than an E0S1 my day. The amount of Robin cope I've seen recently is something. I mean, I will say, right, E0 S0. Tribby and Robin don't really one up each other all that much. I'm going to be honest. Like, they're honestly close in value. It's once you start going into the Eidolons that it's like, yeah, Tribby is straight up better, okay? The more you invest in her cost, or her Eidolons, the stronger she gets, and the more damage she herself does as well, right? Like, it's just not even a competition. But at E0S0, they genuinely are, like, decently fairly close. I will say, though, I think there is one reason. There's only one reason why I would put E0S0 Tribby above Robin, and it is because Robin's ult uptime without S1 and no Bronya light cone is pretty ass. Like, it's genuinely pretty ass if you don't have Bronya light cone or S1. And Tribby at E0S0 can have 100% ult uptime without much issue in the slightest. And she's a DDD bot, which is like the most broken 4-star Lycone in the game. So, yeah. Even Pokey said E1 Tribby's the strongest? Yeah, like, it's undebatable, I'm going to be honest. Like, when you're able to increase an AoE DPS's single target damage to a boss by over double, like, there really isn't anything more valuable than that in the game, like, at all. Like, your Herda can literally go from doing 16% of, like, a boss's health to over 30% if you use E1 Tribby. Like, it's just absolutely stupid. Bet Cyrene is going to replace Remembrance MC? I'm not sure anymore. Because, according to leakers, they changed this, like, thing of her being, like, Sunday 3.7 goated support. to she might actually be a DPS, and supposedly we might be getting a 4-star in 3.7 that is a support for her. So I don't know anymore, man. She's too far away for me to give a shit about. We have to wait till 3.7 for a 4-star? No. According to the leakers, Mr. Rekka will likely drop in 3.3 as a 4-star remembrance healer. So 3.3 is when we'll likely get our first 4-star in, our new 4-star in quite a while. Watch everyone regret not pulling Tribby after their banner is gone. Haha. Probably, yeah. That always happens, right? Like, if you look at Robin, okay, I'm not gonna lie, Tribby's probably gonna go through another Robin phase. You know what I'm saying? Like, Robin dropped, there weren't many DPSs that could really take full advantage of her abilities. People back then weren't anywhere near as good at the game as they are today. And people were like, oh, if you have Sparkle, you can easily skip Robin. She's good, but she's not like anything special. And then you find out like a patch or two after her banner that she's basically Harmony Jesus. Right? Like, she just goes absolutely nuts. And I think Tribby will be the exact same thing, where there will be duo DPS comps in the future that would 100% love an E1 Tribby who gives them true damage, vulnerability, res pen, and she does her own damage all at the exact same fucking time. Like, you know what I'm saying? There will be a team like that. Like, something you guys need to understand is, like, Tribby is more universal than even Robin is. Like, Robin is basically useless for these HP scalers in terms of, like, her attack buffs. But vulnerability and res pen, literally every single type of damage in this game can take advantage of that. Yeah, exactly, Sevens. Like, literally, this is the exact same argument people are using for Tribby right now, right? Oh, she's not that much better than my Robin. Or, I don't need her because I'm not going to pull this character, like, I don't know, like My Day or something, or Castris. But in reality, team buffers like Tribby and like Robin and Ruan Mei, they have multiple DPSs that can usually benefit from having them on their team and not just one. Right? There usually is one that is like exceptionally higher value if you have Tribby on that team. However, in most cases, especially with how general of a buffer she is, you're gonna be missing out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they can literally make more HP scalers. Or another thing, which is like similar to Herda currently has this kind of issue. If you have overinflated attack stats, I'm not going to lie, it would be much more beneficial to get things like res pen and vulnerability than it would be to be getting Robin's attack buffs. You know what I'm saying? Like, if DPSs start becoming severely inflated in their attack stats and stuff like that, and they actually much prefer like other stats outside of, you know, damage boost, attack, crit damage, all of that, then Tribby holds higher value than Robin does. You don't need her E1, guys. You don't need her E1. Okay? This is like saying you need E1 Robin for a Fei Xiao team. Okay? It's a nice luxury. It's nice to have. However, even at E0 she has slightly better value than Robin. You don't need her E1. You can literally, like, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be a long time before Tribby gets power crept. If she gets another Robin situation where she's reran within 3 patches, you could very easily pick up an E0 Tribby right now, wait until the rerun, and grab an E1. Like, it's not that serious. And that's usually the better thing to do as well, right? Like, this is what I was telling people when Sunday came around. I was telling people, hey, we don't exactly know how much value Sunday is going to have in the future. I do think he's going to be a absolutely goated support you should pull for. However, if you're a bit cautious, like even I was at the time, you skip his banner or you only pull 1 copy, and then you decide on his rerun whether or not it's worth it to go for like a Lycone or Enolons or like higher investment, depending on how much value he holds in the future, right? And now we know. Now we know Sunday is fucking best in slot with every goddamn team that exists in this game. So it's honestly fine to overinvest in a Sunday. Yeah, Remembrance can have like a Harmony type character like RMC. It doesn't matter if Tribby's the only Harmony character. I think according to the leakers, post 3.2, I think we're getting like 4 or 5 more Remembrance characters. I think. I could be wrong. Actually, let me recheck the leak for you guys like right now. I remember seeing it on the Honkai Star Rail Leaks Reddit. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. So there should be 4 more new Remembrance characters post 3.2. So 3.3 all the way to 3.7, there should be 4 more Remembrance characters. One of them is probably Rekka as a 4-star. Dot meta Heislands? Yep, probably. Heislands is also someone that could possibly take advantage of my E1S1 Robin on Rob. Like, I feel like there will 100% be someone who can at least use Robin as like a second best in slot Harmony for them in the future in like 3.x. That'll be decently strong. And I think that's a DPS I'll 100% snatch up. That's understandable, Jay. Deep is something you guys can also do to like play mind games with Hoyo, at least as much as you can, right? DPS reruns are almost always longer than Harmony reruns. So if you have to choose between pulling a certain DPS you really like or like pulling a certain Harmony and it's the Harmony's initial release, it's usually better to skip the Harmony because they will rerun earlier than the DPS would. So do keep that in mind. If you're like, oh, I don't have pulls for Tribby right now because I want to pull for Castris, it would be better to pull for Castris, wait 3 patches, get a Tribby rerun, than instead pulling for Tribby, and then you get another Acheron situation where it takes them 5 patches for them to rerun. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Heislands will want Kafka and Black Swan. I have seen people making the argument for Kafka Detonation, but I'm going to be completely honest. High likelihood Heislands would much prefer just another support on her team if she's able to do Kafka and Black Swan's job at the exact same time. Cough, cough, I mean an action advancer, right? It would obviously be just better to add another action advancing support than a sub DPS basically is what Kafka would be. Because Heislands would probably just straight up do more damage. You know what I'm saying? It would just be better to give Heislands more turns than it would to be like giving Kafka more turns or something like that. Heisland probably has a new teammate anyway. Yeah, she'll probably get like a best in slot support as well. Like that's another thing you also have to think about. But if Robin is like a second best in slot, then I'd probably use like Robin. I don't think I'd use Sunday for Heislands. Because I do think there's a decent possibility of me pulling Phanon on this account. And I just get the slightest hunch that Phanon might want Sunday. So we'll see how that goes. Kafka and Black Swans, let's be honest, were bait pulls. Yeah. I mean, at the time, right, like back in 2.0 when Black Swan first released, Kafka and Black Swan could at least clear endgame, right? Because let's all be honest, back then the MOC's HP was like a fraction of what it is today. Like, it isn't even close. So they could clear pretty consistently in old endgame. Same with Blade, same with Jingyuan, same with like those other guys, right? But, these days, it's a bit of a different story with the HP inflation and no trotters. Can Dot do anything these days? If you have their E1s and S1s, yeah. Silverwolf was also a bait pull, especially if they had Pedagogy planned by then, made us think their weakness and plan was future proof. Then you know the rest. I think they have story planned and characters planned. I just don't think they have kits exactly fully planned like that far ahead, right? But I will say, I got recommended a TikTok video this morning of Mr. Pokey back in like 1.x. And it's him talking about meta pulls that absolutely changed the game. And he then says Silverwolf. That is absolutely crazy to look back at. Silverwolf used to be considered a game-changing meta pull. Oh my god. Actually, let me see. I'll literally play the TikTok if I can find it, I think. Can I find it? I don't think I can. Yeah, I can't find it. Unfortunate. It's in his channel? Oh, is it? Yeah. But it was just funny. Like, oh my god. Like, Silverwolf used to be considered a must-pull, game-changing meta unit. And now, when she's on the rerun, you literally have everyone saying, hey, do not pull her. She is a complete waste of your pulls. Like, oh my god. She has potential? Not really. Unless you start to invest in like her Eidolons, because Silverwolf doesn't have half bad Eidolons. But outside of that, it's like not really. The only potential she has is to make her AoE. Like if she were AoE, she would straight up be better than Pela by like a good margin. Because I'm pretty sure Is it her skill or her ult? Oh, I'm on Rob. I can't check. But I think her skill or ultimate applies Resbent and the weakness implant. So it's like she'd obviously be better than Pela. I don't know if they make her AoE though. Like they might make her ult AoE, but I don't know if they make her skill AoE. Yeah, choosing the element would also be nice. That would as well help, yeah. Trivia is a must pull. Junior cheeseburger. Right? Buy one, get one free. By that I mean she's a really good deal. But she's not a must pull. Of course. Remember, it's just probably unhealthy for the game's past systems because it's like, why even care if you have a path that can do everything? Yeah. Another thing that I want to mention that I don't think enough people are talking about, Whoa is pretty ass when it comes to healing, especially for Remembrance characters. Because Memo Sprites count as a character, and she can only heal three at a time. Like, it hasn't happened yet because we don't have enough Remembrance characters in the game. But, like, if we're all being honest, eventually there will be a meta team that uses, like, 2 Remembrance characters. And Wo's healing would be complete dog shit. Like, it would literally be absolutely terrible to have Wo. Like, I'm pretty sure that's how they're going to sell Hyacine. Like, I've seen a lot of people coping, like, oh, there's no way Wo loses value to a 3.x sustain when we have, like, 4 rumored sustains in 3.x. But, like, there's a very high chance that we get a healer who can do Wo's job, but do more damage with a Memo Sprite, heal better, maybe even give energy or increase max HP. Like, Whoa is just getting completely blown out of the water. I'm just gonna say it how it is. Like, all I'm saying, right? All I'm saying, Whoa is rerunning in 3.1, and we're also getting a Wind Healer who's a Memo Sprite user in 3.3 with a dedicated planar set that likely implies that they're a speed scaler. You know who else is a speed scaler? Just think about that for a second, right? Think about it for a little bit. Let your mind rest on it, on who the other speed scaler in this game is. Hanya? Yes, Hanya. Seal. Yeah, seals. Guys, I'm talking about a Glea, okay? I swear, I'm talking about a Glea here. Venturing Power Creep by New Don Hung? Yeah, probably. Probably gonna rerun them in 3.2. Someone said they don't want to pull Sunday because they hate him. I mean, like, I guess. I don't like Sunday either, by the way. Like, I've said this a lot of times at this point. I absolutely hate Sunday's guts in the story, but, like, I don't become that emotionally invested in these characters. So if, like, Sunday's extremely meta, it's like, I don't give a shit. Like, you can be as evil of a piece of shit as you want to be. If you're carrying my team through the end game, we're best buddies, okay? That's all that matters at the end of the day. From MOC 10 to 12, which MOC is harder for you, 10, 11, or 12? I think 10 took me longer. Like, my E2S1 Herda literally took longer against that Nikador boss without the mechanics in MOC 10 because I'm pretty sure it's just like pure single target. So it's like Herda's worst case scenario. And of course, once again, there's no mechanics. Like, she did better against the 7.5 million HP Nikador boss in like MOC 12 than she did against that guy in MOC 10. If I had a Glea, probably would have been better, since a Glea single target damage is like better than Herda's. But yeah. Woho in 3.1, high scene in 3.3, adventure in 3.2, new dot hunt. Yeah, there is a new pattern. Yeah, so I made a video on it. I didn't see anyone else talking about it, and I was like, wait, am I tripping? Like, am I like the only one delusional here? So I thought as well, I might as well post my delusion through a video, and I think it will be confirmed. What if Hyacine is better overall than Huohuo in most scenarios, or even just a Glea, because that's the main point behind her rerun. And as well, if Aventurine reruns in 3.2 before the Dawn Hung Preservation. I'm not yet like fully invested into this. It's just more like something I randomly thought of while noticing it. But it would be pretty funny if it was like a real thing. Like they're actually doing this shit, and I actually caught on. Anoxa's better Silver Wolf anyway? Yep. You were one of the few people I saw talking about the rerun before power creep pattern? That's nice to know. I thought more people would have caught on, though. I mean, I understand it, right? Like, the only reason I kind of caught on was leaks, right? I was looking at the leaks, and I was like, wait. Like, what is going on here? Like, Jade is 2 patches before Anoxa. Silverwolf is rerunning 2 patches before the other new weakness implanter. Like, whoa. Like, I'm getting a little bit suspicious here. You know what I'm saying? Then you have Huohuo now confirmed for the 3.1 rerun. When there's another wind healer in 3.3, it's like, oh, whoa. Oh, that's understandable. Daridon? Hopefully I'm saying it right. I'm probably butchering it. But yeah. I usually don't like I try my best to not do story spoilers, which is why like when I didn't make a video on the Phanon body art leaks. Like in reality, the Phanon body art leaks, because of how cool they look, honestly deserve an entire video. However, I don't want to spoil people, so like I always try to be like a little more careful with that at least. I mean, then again, like, they're probably going to keep doing this. Like, I genuinely think they're just going to keep making more versions of, like, the main cast as limited banner characters. You know what I want to see? This has nothing to do with current leaks, but I really do want to see a limited Welt. Welt is probably, like, my favorite character in the story. I'd love to see a limited Welt. Young Welt as a 5-star? Yeah, like, Welt is such a badass to me. I don't know what it is. Like, he's just a chill unk, right? He's mostly just a chill unk. But I really do love Welt, man. He's extremely underrated in my opinion. Unfortunately, his standard banner character is pretty ass these days, but I wouldn't say he's completely unusable, but he could for sure use some buffs. Yeah, limited Yang Ching too. I also said this, yeah. Yang Ching and Welt are like the two characters I most want to see get a glow up in this game. Because Yang Ching has this niche with like flying swords that I really like with him. And he's an ice character, which is my favorite element, right? So I'd love to see a limited Yang Ching with limited animations and a limited Welt. Are you still playing Casteress on Rob? I don't know. It just depends on her leaks, man. If she's somehow underwhelming, I might just go for my day. Or if she has a similar power level, I also might still go for my day. I'm not completely sure, but like I just really like my day's design, and I wouldn't have much of an issue going for his E1S1. I'd literally just skip Tribby, skip Casterus, get E1S1 my day, then pick up Sunday. Because my day's skill point neutral, I'm pretty sure, when he goes in his Vendetta state. So like the skill points aren't really being consumed in the slightest. Yeah, Daradon. I agree. It would be really nice. Screwlum is pretty funny, right? It is pretty funny because me personally, I actually don't give a shit about Screwlum in the slightest. But it is pretty funny how this is probably the number one bait leak character in this game. Like, there's always a leak that comes out every new version. Oh, Screwlum's gonna come and he's gonna be Herta's best in slot teammate. And it's like, oh, a different character stole his kit or he just disappears, right? I think Screwlum is for sure one of the funniest baits in the entirety of this game when it comes to leaks. Already a leak for the next planet theme? Yeah, it was Edo Star, right? I'm pretty sure they said Lushaka won the popularity poll, like that people voted for, but that they still decided to go for Edo Star instead of Lushaka for the next planet. I don't even know what Edo Star means. What does Edo Star even? I don't even know what the fuck that is, man. Like I saw that leak and I was like, what does this even mean? I don't even know what's going on. Oh, it's like a Japanese based planet. Oh, okay. Okay, I see, I see. Yeah. I mean, cyberpunkish, right? Cyberpunk? If it's really cyberpunkish, actually, this is a bit more of a nitpick, but it would make way more sense for Rappa to have been in a planet that's like cyberpunkish than fucking banana, like, but whatever. I digress. Hopefully they don't pull an Inazuma there. Then yeah, I don't want an Inazuma personally either. Why does every game find a way to drag you to Japan? Because that's like the new hot trend these years. I feel like genuinely, unironically, I think that anime and manga popularity has made people a lot more aware of Japan and like wanting to visit Japan and shit. And because of that, Japan is like a lot more of a better known country than it was like decades ago. So like a lot of games are just using Japan these days for like free bread, basically. Like people will instantly eat that shit up. I need Castris to serve me a double bacon cheeseburger so badly. Uh, I don't think she'd be able to handle cooking the meat. Probably like disintegrate into ashes or something. But that's just my guess. I don't think she'd be a very good cook. Best value characters right now, including leaks. E0 as 0. It's just harmonies, man. Like, if we're all being honest, E0 as 0, like, strict thing. It's like Sunday, Robin, Tribby. It's basically it. DPS's number 1 would be Herda. Number 2, if you have the best in slot supports, Aglaya. Like, literally all the best value DPSs in the game currently are the newest DPSs. And all the best value harmonies in the game are the newest harmonies. So it's like Robin, Sunday, Tribby, My Day, Aglaya, Herda. Like, it's literally just whoever's newer is better, basically. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Bronya has lost a lot of her value because of RMC. If you're not running a break team and or if you're not using HMC, RMC is like better than Bronya in like a lot of scenarios in this game. Castris because anniversary unit? I mean, that's a bit... I don't disagree, but we literally don't even have a V1 of Castris. So I don't feel comfortable saying anything about Castris right now. She could have a Herda situation where she's complete shit the first 2 versions, and then version 3 hits, or like My Day situation, right? My Day situation. Version 3 hits and bam. Like, she's just significantly better or something. You can usually grasp a character's value a lot better when they're actually in like V4, V5, mainly in V3. V3 is usually the big one, but V4 and V5 is closer to like completely finishing the kit. Oh, she'll 100% be stronger than Acheron level. Acheron level doesn't mean shit, bro. Oh, I see. You think... Oh, okay. You're using Acheron level as, like, Acheron dropped and she was significantly better than all previous DP. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I could 100% see that as well, yeah. She will be the new Castris level. That would be pretty funny. To be honest, I'd be fine without her being that. You know, like a lot of people think that because I wanted My Day to get buffs when he was complete shit in his V1 and V2, that meant I like power creep. I would genuinely be pretty happy if Castris was like nearly as strong or as strong as Herda, Aglaia, or My Day, right? Like if she was also in that like little group of top tier DPSs in the game without eclipsing all of them, I would genuinely be pretty happy. Like I'm not gonna lie, like I would be more happy that way. But that is unlikely to happen, of course. Yeah, sevens. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah. Nice, Ertug. Yeah, I remember that too, NS. I remember that too. Acheron, even back then, was better. But, okay, the one thing I can give people, right? She did have no Avon that could use, like, a trend Lycone, right? You could use, like, Japard, but it was, or, like, Fushuan, but it really isn't that crazy, right? Avon helps Acheron a lot more in terms of stack generation. And she didn't get Zhao Q. I mean, yeah, she was just straight up stronger than everyone else. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, people always cope like this. Like it's nothing new, guys. It's literally nothing new. Please, I recommend some of you guys, right? You don't have to do this, right? I'm just saying, like, if you're interested in the topic or seeing how people react to their favorite character being power crept, literally look at my video, my last video of why vertical investment is usually trash, and you will have people in the comments absolutely coping as if, like, their E2 DPSs or E6 DPSs can never be power crept. There is a man in my comments who was talking about E2 Yun Li as if she was some top tier DPS performer, as if E2 Yun Li doesn't get outdone by like an E0 Herda. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there are 100% people who just cope for characters they either highly invested in or they just really love, and they're like, oh, only slightly better than my E2 DPS. What a skip, right? Like, it's just, I don't get it, man. People never learn. Like, I have an E2S1 Herda on my main account, and I've openly said multiple times, I would not be surprised if an E0S1 Castris ended up being stronger than my E2S1 Herda, right? Like, I genuinely would not be surprised if that ended up being the case at all. No, exactly, Sevens. Like, this is the thing, like, a lot of people in the gacha space, like, especially when it comes to viewers and not content creators who are trying to, make some objective statement or something, a lot of people feels craft, right? I think this is, like, the most common thing in the gacha space possible. People just feels craft, right? Like that's literally all there is to it. That is literally why the end game shilling in MOC works so well into baiting people for pulling new DPSs. Like there will be, for example, Fei Xiao, right? Fei Xiao back then, the MOC had half the HP it does today. It was shilling towards hunt characters. Fei Xiao was literally zero cycling without that much relic investment with a sustain. You put Fei Xiao in the current MOC, significantly different story, okay? It's a massively different story compared to a few patches ago. Yeah, timeline, exactly. I mean, E4 Aglaia, that's going to last you quite a while, so congratulations to you, right? But, yeah, in all likelihood, likely the late 3.x characters, I'd say, there's a decent chance they could be stronger than your E4 Aglaia, 100%. Do you plan to go for E6 Aglaia on your rerun timeline? I'm just curious myself on that. If you like got E4 and you're planning to get E6 on like her rerun or something. Has the Fei Xiao boss hasn't had an APOC shadow? No, I don't think she has, no. Watch Hunt do 1 billion damage in the future? It's possible. It's completely possible. This is the problem with Hunt characters. The amount of damage they do towards one target is no different to the amount of damage they do to like 5 targets. Like, their damage is hard capped at like a certain amount, right? Yeah, on Orion I'll try and max her out. Nice. Good luck on that. But like hunt characters are literally the shittiest characters to invest in the entirety of the game, right? Fei Xiao, I love her, right? She's one of my favorite characters in the game, one of the most fun characters to play as well. However, was it a great idea to invest in her full best in slot team as a Hunt character? Probably not, right? It would have been better if I just pulled Zhao Q instead for my Acheron, and my Acheron would be performing significantly better in the current endgame than my Fei Xiao would. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? What was your second team in the new MOC? Fei Xiao. I heard there won't be any Hunt characters in all of 3.x. I saw a few days ago a list of the paths of characters that we will be getting in 3.x, and the leakers did say that we might get one Hunt in the entirety of 3.x. So one Hunt is possible. Now, that could change, obviously, because paths for characters that are like a few patches away get very easily changed. Cough Cough and Noxa. He got changed from Ice Nihility to Wind Air Edition like 2 patches away. You know what I'm saying? But currently the leakers are saying one Hunt is completely possible. Cypher also leaked as Hunt. Yeah. That's who I was talking about, by the way. People were calling me Cope on my 2 patch difference on a rerun versus new character thing. But it is genuinely possible, because leakers have been saying this for a while now. Phanon should be 3.3 or 3.4 in all likelihood. Meaning, Cypher is also like switching between 3.3 and 3.4 with Phanon. So if Cypher were to rerun in 3.4, or sorry, run in 3.4 and Phanon in 3.3, that would put Yun Li 2 patches before Phanon, the physical destruction, and Ratio, who is one of the rumored reruns, 2 patches in 3.2 away from Cypher in 3.4, the new Hunt character. Excalibur, yeah, we also have the fake collab characters in 3.5. Some people have been saying there's a decent chance of Saber being Hunt, but I feel like, I don't know. Like, I'm going to be honest, Hunt is literally one of the worst options. You could probably go down for Saber. Like, 100% it's one of the worst options. Who on earth is pulling for a Ratio in 3.2? Hey, I'm going to be honest. I don't know, man. Like, there's 100% some people who maybe like the character. Maybe they want the like cone because they weren't able to get a Fei Xiao one. But, yeah, I don't know. Jesus. Oh. I swallowed my own fucking spit or whatever it is. I don't know how to explain it, but it's happened to me a few times. I swallowed my spit and it got stuck in my throat. Who is the Hunt Emanator? No clue. Jesus, man. I haven't had that happen to me in a long ass time. That's better. Yeah, I'm good, guys. Don't worry. It's just a small cough from, like, swallowing it wrong. Post-nasal drip. Don't worry, Zen. I don't have cancer. I'm not going to die on you guys. I don't even think it's possible for me to get cancer. I don't even eat or drink enough for that. Yeah, exactly, Defs. I can usually react fast enough to stop it, so it almost never happens to me, but I guess while focusing on streaming, it's like I can't make myself react that fast. Watch Anoxa be a Venturine on HSR? What do you mean? HSR is trying to kill him for leaking so much? I'm not gonna lie. I find it kind of funny that they can't really do anything. Like, so long as you don't show actual in-gameplay leaks and all you talk about is, like, words from text, like, they literally can't do shit about leaks. It's kind of funny. I mean, then again, they also probably appreciate my videos because my videos sometimes can build up hype for a character, right? Leaks always build up extreme hype. Like my E1 Tribby video. I literally made a random ass video. It isn't even a Tribby guide. I literally just put E1 Tribby explained. Because there was a lot of misinformation going around for Tribby's E1. And that shit got over 10,000 views. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I was fully expecting that video to do absolute shit. And it was one of my best performing videos of all time. Still can't believe Archer's a 4-star. That's so bad. Yeah. I mean, it's not fully confirmed, but I'm not going to lie. There's been a few leakers saying it at this point. There's genuinely a good chance it's true. It was at 16K when I watched it. Oh, it went up? Damn. Playing this game without leaks is legit account sabotage? Yeah, it kind of is. Like, before I caught on to the 2-patch difference thing, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Like, leaks 100% help, but I didn't think it was necessary. But, like, now that I've caught on to them, rerunning certain characters 2 patches before a new character is better, I'm not gonna lie, like, that's pretty crazy. Like, if I wasn't paying attention to leaks, I genuinely might have pulled Whoa for, like, my day or some shit. Like, no troll. 100% I would. Like, if I didn't watch leaks, I'd be like, oh, Woho is the best sustain for my day. She regens energy, all that. Like, let me pull her, right? I would have been fucked over. You turned on monetization yet? No. Monetization. I can't speak. Monetization on my channel is still off because I do not need money. Whenever, like, I'll probably do it soon. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, right? Soon I might make my shit monetized so that I can get more characters and I can make more videos of content, like by pulling every single character in the game. But right now, I don't have any need for money, man. I don't really give a shit, so I just make videos for the fun of it. I'm also not gonna accept sponsors, at least for now. Like that, like I see everyone getting sponsored by Loot Bar, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that because like they're literally saving you money. But I don't have any interest in sponsors either. That water is a lifesaver. Free money is free. Yeah, you're not wrong. And I do think I will turn it on soon because free money is free money. But yeah, I don't know. It's more of like a personal mindset thing that right now I simply don't want to turn it on. Oh, yeah, another thing I'd like to say is for me personally, right? My content is pretty low effort. I think anyone can tell at this point, right? I do not put that much effort in my content at all. So like I don't even feel like I'm that deserving of money in the first place. So I don't really care about losing out on money by not being monetized at all. Let's go gambling. Yeah, I never gamble, bro. Even though I play gotcha games, I never gamble in my life. That shit is a slippery slope to go down. You seen Axe going crazy? What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. Is it like a video he made or something? Yeah, exactly, Soulless. Like, I rarely ever edit my videos at all, bro. Like, it's like, oh, I see, I see. By going crazy, I thought you meant like he was losing his shit or something. I was like, wait, what, like, what's going on? Like, did he say something controversial or something? But going crazy as in doing well. No, I didn't see that. But I'm glad to hear that. Axe 100% deserves it. No, there aren't any leaks on the buffs yet, I believe. Oh, Tectone reacted to his video essay? I see. Oh, yeah, Darren, no, 100%. That's kind of why I like talking about leaks, right? Like, it's really interesting having others' opinions as well on, like, future characters, future possibilities. Because, like, you can always see what's already in the game, but your knowledge on it is pretty limited, right? At some point, you already understand most of it. But speculating about, like, future characters, their abilities, their kits, their design, it's like that is honestly a lot more fun for me than just repeating the same thing other four guide makers do that they honestly do better than me because they're way better at editing their content, right? Wait, did Tectone give up? I thought he did it. I didn't watch his full video on the MOC. I just saw him struggle on MOC 10 a bit with Dot, but I just assumed that he did it first try or something. He gave up. He gave up, so it wasn't worth his time. That's really funny. He did MOC 10 with dot in 2 cycles. Wait, he did? The little snippet I saw of him using dot in MOC 10, I think he took like 3 or 4 cycles on the first half, said fuck this shit, used Herda, and then cleared in like 3 cycles easily. Herda's carrying your account? Oh, 100%. I don't disagree at all. Herda's 100% carrying my main account. You got very lucky, which is rare, yeah. I used to be like the representative of like relatable content creators because I lost 7 50-50s in a row and 2 75-25s in a row. So like even if I was a low spender, my shit was literally worse than a free to place account. Like it was so fucking bad. Despite the HP inflation situation, I really think they uber cooked with Pure Fiction and making Erudition crack. Yeah, I agree. Erudition was like dead in a ditch for a long ass time, and Pure Fiction was too easy, right? Like, I already said this before, but the reason I didn't make a video on HP inflation and Pure Fiction, even though it got like I think like a 8 million HP increase and the grip mechanic got nerfed, was because Pure Fiction was always fucking easy. Like, it's literally always been easy to clear Pure Fiction. Like, I'm pretty sure the average performance for an E0S0 Jiaoqiu and an E0S0 Acheron is like max score in Pure Fiction. Like, and that's after the buff, by the way. So, like, it's just crazy how easy Pure Fiction is, man. One thing I will say that MOC can learn from APOC and Pure Fiction is buffs, right? I'm pretty sure in Pure Fiction you can choose between 3 buffs, and I think it's the same in APOC. You can choose between like 2 or 3. They should do the exact same thing for MOC, because a lot of times in MOC, some team comps are just completely fucked over because the new MOC shill literally does not help old DPSs in the slightest or even like at all. Like, you can add a dot buff in there, you can add a break buff, you can maybe add a follow-up attack buff, right? Like, all that good stuff, right? Anything to help multiple team comps instead of like it only being one specific new character targeted towards the MOC buff. Like the Trotters literally apply to everyone in the game, right? The Trotters were the worst for hunt characters, but they were the best for like blast and AoE characters. So it was pretty universal in my opinion, and it genuinely had good value. Like, for example, when Fei Xiao is not being completely bitched by the endgame not favoring her anymore, Fei Xiao is still, like, one of my best units in APOC, right? Like, E2S1 Herda is E2S1 Herda. I'm not expecting my E0S0 Fei Xiao to beat an E2S1 Herda, right? But she does perform very, very well, even next to my E2S1 Herda. Like, I was able to hit a 0 cycle with my E2S1 Herda on APOC, which isn't that impressive, because I think you could do it with a DDD Ting Yun on Eagle set. But in my defense, I had an unbuilt Ting Yun without that good of a DDD, and I didn't have Eagle set. So, hey, cut me some slack. Would you say the Herda single target is better than most hunt characters? Technically, no. If you're looking at pure screenshot damage, then I do think an E1S1 Herda can... Yeah, I do think Herda beats single target screenshot damage. But in terms of like overall single target damage, no. Like I don't think so. Didn't the leak say something about new endgame mode? Yes. Apparently, there isn't much information on it, other than that it's similar to Genshin's Imaginarium Theater. So a lot of people are speculating that this might be the first endgame mode that might require you to have like 3 teams. Or maybe run like a 5 team comp instead of a 4 character team comp. Something like that. So that is the next leaked endgame mode. It seems to be something similar to Genshin's Theater. No, we are cooked. It's over. Oh, hell no. I'm cooked. Hey, this just proves my point all the more, boys. Horizontal investment. Horizontal investment. Oh, my God. I do hope it's a 3-team mode. Yeah, that could 100% happen. 3-team mode for the first time in a while would be honestly quite interesting, right? It would be harder for people who vertical invest or people who are like newer probably to get 3 fully usable team comps. And the thing is though, right? The reason why this actually does make sense, we are running out of reasons to really pull limited supports, right? Like, when Ruan Mei was the first limited harmony in the game, she was obviously a must-pull because she's the first, right? But as time has gone on, we have a lot of supports in the game at this point that you can very easily go by without pulling Tribby for, like, an entire version and not really suffer all that much because of it. So they genuinely might make 3-team content so that they can sell more DPSs, more supports, more characters, all that good stuff, right? Like, that's going to be the main appeal of it, likely. Sparkle return? Maybe, man. Sparkle return. Oh, really? You can use your friend's characters in Genshin Impact? That's quite nice, then. Yeah, it's understandable if you want to skip trivia, 100%. I don't think anyone is a must-pull in this game. I've said this like a million times already, but like back in the olden days, right? Back in my time when the days were harder and all that shit. Ruan Mei and Robin, I would say, were must-pulls because like Ruan Mei was the first limited harmony, and in my opinion, she still had more value than Sparkle. However, Robin was like the next harmony to have as much value as Ruan Mei, and then as time went on, if not more than Ruan Mei, right? Those were the only 2 times where I felt like there were actual must-pulls in this game that worked with like every single comp in the game possible, right? But the second they started going to like niche things, like Acheron's ult doesn't have energy and she can't use harmonies unless you get her E2, or Super Break, right? Robin doesn't fit in that. Fei Xiao, she needs follow-up stacks, doesn't use energy. Like, they started going into niches, basically, just multiple niches. and the necessity for one, like only one support that would completely change your account forever has basically disappeared. Will there ever be a must pull DPS? Nah. No. There can always be a must pull support, right? Like, okay, I'll say this. If Tribby's E1 was in her base kit, she would 100% be a must pull support, in my opinion. Because she's the most general buffer in the entirety of the game with Respen and Vulnerability. Adding that true damage and single target increase on AoE and blast DPSs would 100% make her the best Harmony in the game by a mile, outside of just her universal use. But it's behind an E1, so it is what it is, right? I don't know if Tribby will be best in slot with casters. I don't think so, though. I mean, maybe. Because, okay, according to the leakers, Casterus does more damage the more teammate HP she drains. So, obviously, max HP scaling Tribby is going to make Casterus do more damage, right? However, I do think it might be better to just run RMC plus Sunday than Tribby plus Sunday, unless, of course, ladies and gentlemen, you got that E1. I have to say this every fucking time when it comes to Tribby, but if you have that E1, completely forget everything I fucking said and slot her in your team, okay? That's all you have to know. That's all you have to know. What's the best sustain for Casterus? According to the leakers, Hyacine. According to the leakers, there literally is not a sustain who can, like, sustain your team well enough until Hyacine releases. And that's why I don't think Casterus's leak about reviving teammates is bullshit. Because it genuinely makes sense if you action advance her enough times and she takes enough ally HP. Like, it's genuinely completely possible that there's just no sustain that can fully heal everyone. Let's just talk about Casterus being a support. The leakers basically decided to just write a full list of all of Casterus's abilities in V0, and she's just crazy, right? Supposedly, she has Respen increase. Her E4 increases the HP, or increases incoming healing, I think it's HP. I think her E4 increases HP of all allies on the team. Basically, a lot of her Eidolons and her base kit actually help the team. But the reason I don't think she's going to be a sub DPS or a support is because Herda has a similar thing with erudition units. Like, Herda gives erudition units an 80% crit damage buff. That doesn't mean she's a support or a sub DPS. She's very clearly a main one, right? So I think, like, Casterus could be in this exact same scenario where she might buff other HP scalers on her team. However, she's still a sub or a main DPS on the team. Herda did that? I didn't know that. Yeah, Herda has something like... Let me see if I can see it right now. Characters, erudition, Herda. Yeah, here it is. When entering battle, if the team has 2 or more erudition characters, increase all allies' crit damage by 80%. So it's actually not for only erudition characters like I originally thought. It's just if you have 2 erudition characters on the team. Everybody gets an 80% crit damage bonus. That's crazy for an Noxa, yep. Does crit damage cap? No. Crit rate does, but crit damage doesn't. 80% crit damage for Ling Shot, oh boy. Yep. That's true, Hirokumata. That is true. Old traces for like older characters are pretty mid. I'm not gonna lie. Even Sparkle. Like I've said this a lot, but like it is very, very easy to buff Sparkle. You just give her better traces and passives, and you make her action advance 100%. She is the only 5-star action advancer in the game with 50% AA. Even even Bronya has better AA than her. Crit damage boost effect. Using basic attack regenerates 10 energy, which I'm not gonna lie, this is literally useless. Like this is one of the most useless ascension traces I've ever fucking seen, because you literally want to use Sparkle's skill every single turn. Like in most case scenarios, this is basically just useless. And then you have this, which is increases all allies attack by 15% when there are quantum type allies in the team. Like, are we serious right now? Are we serious? Hello? Like, if we were to go to Sunday right now, when using ultimate, if the energy regenerated for the target is less than 40, increases the regenerated energy to 40. So this helps regenerating energy for characters. When the battle starts, Sunday regenerates 25 energy. And when using skill, he can literally dispel a debuff. Like, this shit is broken. He can dispel a debuff on you. Like, and he has a 20% crit rate passive. I don't know where it is. I don't remember. Oh, here it is. Here it is. When using skill, increases the target's crit rate by 10%. At max, this does 20%. Literally free 40% crit rate. Or 40 crit value. Like, it's just so much better than Sparkle. Yeah, Bronya's basic attack gives AA, which is genuinely nice, right? Because it's quite smart, since most case scenarios, you're not going to be skilling with Bronya every single turn, unless you're in like a skill point neutral / skill point positive comp. That's like the only way you're able to use Bronya's skill every turn. So like being able to basic and get some action advance further is genuinely like a good thing. Like it's better than anything Sparkle has, to be honest. Aglaia has a major trace that is literally 60% of her attack. Yeah. Like, this is why I tell people Eidolons and Lycones are almost never necessary, right? If you want to make your teams very future proof, right? Like, I'm talking lasting nearly 2 years. Yes, that is when you start to consider Eidolons and either best in slot DPS supports or the DPS. But Eidolons and Lycones always get exponentially better the more time passes on. So you're literally not losing out on anything if you just skip Eidolons and Lycones, right? Look at My Day. My Day gets an insane, like I'm not talking a little bit, like he gets an insane damage increase with his limited Lycone compared to his free-to-play one. And his E1 is absolutely fucking bonkers. And then you add the E2, which lets him gain charge when he's healed. And he also gets defense ignore every time he hits something. Like, the Eidolons and the Lycones just get better for every single new character that releases. I'm just going to say it how it is, right? Also, something I want people to keep in mind, right now, My Day's E2 isn't crazy because the best healer we have in the game is Luocha, and even Luocha doesn't heal like that crazily overly, like compared to Gallagher and like single target healing. He is better, don't get me wrong. I'm not coping that Luocha is worse. However, Hyacine literally has her own planar set that increases her Memo Sprite's outgoing healing. She also is likely maybe speed scaling, or you just run her at very high speed because her planar increases her speed by 6%. And according to the leakers, she will be the strongest healer when she drops. Like the leakers are saying there isn't a single sustain that can sustain casters comfortably except for Hyacine in 3.3. So, if My Day's E2 gives him charge the more he's overhealed, or the more he's healed, just imagine what Hyacine is going to be able to do for that E2 My Day, right? All I'm saying. And then E2 My Day is probably going to get beat by an E0 DPS in like late 3.x or early 4.x, but that's just the pattern. Me looking everywhere for an E00 Sunday showcase? Yep. They're almost all E0 S1 because Sunday's S1 is just absolutely busted. Oh yeah, likely Machiga. Likely. Considering she's Remembrance, and she obviously has a Memo Sprite, I don't think the Memo Sprite will only heal. It'll probably also do some damage in all likelihood. That, or if she doesn't do any damage, you already know she's going to have some type of buffing capability towards some type of niche, or even just generally, right? Like she could just have better energy regen than Huo, or like maybe increase max HP or something. In all likelihood, she's going to be broken in one way or another, right? Better than all the previous sustains. Because sustains, if you were to get a sustain that increases all allies max HP by like, let's say 30%, right? The reason I'm using 30% is because I think Hoyo might do the same thing they did with Fugue, where they used Fugue's Exo Toughness as an MOC, what is it called? Buff, right? And then afterwards, they implemented the Exo Toughness into Fugue's kit. And ironically, the 3.1 MOC increases all allies max HP by 30%, I believe. And Hyacine is only 2 patches away. So I do think it's completely possible Hyacine will have a 30% max HP all ally buff, right? And this would be crazy for the max HP scalers. Like, this would be the equivalent of like fucking 24% res pen, right? It's literally the equivalent. Like, max HP scalers just straight up do more damage the higher their max HP is. Yeah, exactly, Rokumana. Blade return? Unfortunately, I don't see any Blade return until he gets a buff. I do think, like, unironically, I think if Blade does get buffed, he'll probably then get a rerun. Like, 100% in my opinion. But Blade right now, before he gets reran, does need a buff in my opinion. And then after the buff, if he's, like, decent enough, rerun him, right? I mean, Daradon, they might do something similar to My Day, where they aren't really tanky. Because I believe My Day, in return for his high-ass health, has, like, basically 0 defense. So he takes, like, max damage from all mobs on field. So they could do something similar for, like, Castris or something. But we'll have to wait and see for that. I'm not sure, Bled. I really don't know if Blade would be worth it over just adding another support because no offense, Blade's damage is just so ass that it would probably be better to just get a buffer to make Castris just do significantly more damage. Right? Like, no offense to Blade, but I just don't think he's going to be able to make enough of a difference in a duo DPS comp. And I think it would just be better to run Hyper Carry Castris. You probably put RMC with Tribby or like Sunday with Tribby, something like that. Like, that would probably work better instead. Like, one thing you guys have to keep in mind is that the leakers are saying, yes, duo DPS with Castris and My Day is possible, but Castris's, like, highest damage ceiling will be in a hyper carry comp, right? Like, that will be her best comp, and My Day's best comp will be by himself hyper carry, right? So if they're saying that for My Day, who, by the way, is stronger than an E6S1 blade at E0S1, then you can imagine that, like, an E0S1 blade is just not worth putting in there at all. It's just like way more worth putting in another support. Fushuan with Castris, is she good or no? No, you'll die. Like, straight up, you'll just die, bro. I wouldn't recommend that at all. Castris has, like, entire team-wide HP drain. Like, Fushuan would be, like, getting her ass beat, bro. She's useless. I'm kind of over Memo Sprites. I want more playable Stone Hearts. Honestly, understandable. Now that I think of it, I think the only two sustains I would actually be able to sustain Castris semi are probably Luocha and Lingsha currently, if I had to guess. Because they're the only ones with, like, team-wide healing without, like, blast healing. Yeah, those are the only ones, yeah. I forgot how Fu works. Yeah, all good, all good. Yeah, I will say that is annoying. Machiga. I do think that is annoying that, like, some of these Remembrance characters very clearly belong to a certain specific path in the game, but you cannot use that specific path's, like, light cones that you already have for other characters on that new character anymore because they're Remembrance. Like, I agree, it's pretty bullshit. By the way, I forgot to mention this. The Her to Shop Lycone that we're getting for Remembrance characters, I'm pretty sure that's for Hyacine. Like, this is more so my own speculation, but that Lycone is most likely for Hyacine, considering her planar increases speed. You'd probably use that Her to Shop Lycone on Hyacine. Unless, like, she gets, obviously her limited Lycone, but it would probably be her best free-to-play option. Yeah, Huohuo's healing is 100% not going to be enough. Like, according to the leakers, like, Castris's HP drain is, like, more detrimental than My Day's because it applies, like, team-wide. Like, it isn't just My Day losing a shit ton of HP. It's everyone losing HP. So, it really sucks if you can't heal everyone at once. I'm using that Herda light code on RMC. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, I know a lot of people have been saying that. I'll probably also use it on RMC for a little bit because I want to run my RMC on Winset while also still having him on a good amount of speed. But, like, eventually, that will probably go to Hyacine if I end up pulling on her on my main account. And this one as well. My Lakeshot Super Break clears the current MLC 12 in the same cycles as the Herda. Nice, Minnie. Lingshaw. She's truly the DPS of all time. Alright, guys. I'm going to end the stream off here. I'm just going to get off and sleep, to be honest. I mean, I might lurk on YouTube a little bit. Watch that Axe video you guys told me about. But, yeah, that's going to be it for today's stream. I love you all. I hope you all have a good day. Hope you have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. And peace.